And I'm telling you right now, there's gonna be peace in this house. There's gonna be peace in this house.
Hey there, this is Home Wizards. I'm Cindy Dole.
I'm Eric Stromer.
And I love to find ways to do things in the garden without spending a lot of green.
What do you do?
There's a lot of things
Because,
you can do.
you know what? I have recently been on a plant shopping binge.
Mm-hmm.
And, you go there, you get attracted like catnip to stuff. And then before you know it, I'm just going to pick up a few things.
I think
and then it's $200 later.
I think that I'm a plant-aholic.
I might be too.
I kind of am, because you go into these places. I mean, we love the air plants, we love the succulents, love roses, all of these different things, love ferns, and you get a connection to them, and you go, wow, think of the possibilities. I want to do this and this and this and this. But before you spend all that money, thought we could talk about some ways to get into the fun of gardening. Maybe it's with a container garden, and kind of be on the cheap side and save some cash.
Sounds great to me. And I got to tell you, the worst thing for me is the truck. I have a truck. It's literally like a shopping cart for big things like plants.
Really big. I mean, it's a pickup truck. You can just load up with everything.
Yeah. So what are your secrets?
And so
what
I think you have that mentality. It's kind of like me with my purse.
Yes, it's basically like a big purse.
When you have a big purse and you keep wanting to fill it up, or like a suitcase.
That's
as long
right.
as it's big enough, you fill it up.
Yeah.
You need to downsize your truck.
I do.
Anyway, so here's some great ideas. First of all, you and I have done this where you share plants with friends and family. It's called Propagating
Well,
Plants.
you've gifted me with several succulent strains, and now I've got some of yours, and it's a beautiful thing.
Propagating plants is so simple, especially with succulents and different kinds of plants like that, where all it is you just take the cutting, and it's free. And so now tons of plants can be done by just snapping off a branch. Did you plant that jade plant that I gave you?
I did.
Okay. Now, it probably doesn't look like much now, but it's going to grow into a great huge shrub. And you can even, in the meantime, be snapping off some of the branches to duplicate and create more.
Put it other parts of the yard.
Or share it, exactly.
Sure.
Or just put them in little baby containers until they're happy and big and so forth. But snapping off a branch or of a stem and then sticking it in some water and then putting it in soil and then get together with a friend, and how fun to have like a plant swap party.
Yeah, and they sell the 5, the 10, the 15-gallon containers within a matter of months.
$10, $25
but
easily.
within a matter of months, the propagated plants are going to become that size anyway. So if you just have some patience and let them fill in, ultimately, you can save a ton of money.
Yeah. I mean, I think for sure within a year, you would have like a little cutting would be easily up to that $15 plant. And how fun to see it grow from a little guy. Do you know that you can actually dumpster dive at nurseries for free and in free plants?
That is a great idea.
Nurseries right now, because they have to throw out the plants that don't look pretty.
Sure.
And
but just because they don't look pretty doesn't mean they're not going to come back if you water them.
So can you imagine going to a nursery? I mean, you don't want to be trespassing, but you might even ask them. They have their trash can might be right there. Hey, have some fun. Get your treasure. It's our trash.
Right.
But a lot of these plants, they just need a little bit of TLC. We have in our backyard, we call it our plant hospital, where it's just an area where it's a little shadier, and that's where we recover the plants that might have been stressed. And so you could go to one of these dumpsters at a nursery, collect some things that look like they're cool and you love them, and you scoop them up and bring them home and then bring them back to life.
Great idea.
Isn't that fun? Freebies.
Yeah, I'm going to be the creepy guy at the dumpster at the nursery.
In a trench coat.
In a trench coat. Mm-hmm. In my pickup truck, filled with plants that they thought were dead, but no.
Yeah.
I'll bring them back.
You can do it.
Yeah.
What kind of a hat would you wear with that?
Probably one of those stocking things, that the robbers wear.
I was thinking
so
something.
I can't be identified.
I was thinking more along the lines of like an army, Kevlar. Kind of a camouflage hat. So you look like a bush that came
that's
up,
a good idea.
rising from the swamps, like the Marines, that kind of a thing.
That's it.
Here's another one. You can ask for discounts. Now, come on, it doesn't hurt to ask. You can ask when you are going to the garden center. Hey, this plant looks a little sad. Can you give me a deal? Work with me here.
I always do that anyway. I say, can you do any better? And they
see?
usually most of the time say, yeah, sure.
Well, try asking for a discount if you're not up for the dumpster dive. Why not? Garage sales, by the way. Did you know that I didn't know, but garage sales can be a source for plants. A lot of times they will have them in containers and they're selling them right there.
Huh. Well, a lot of times people just start pointing at stuff that isn't for sale.
Yeah, like they're landscaping.
So,
Hey, can I have that tree?
Can I take all that grass out? Do you mind? So I would imagine that'd be a good thing good place to get stuff.
Thrift stores is also a great place that to find repurposed vases or fish bowls for terrariums and all kinds of containers, because container gardens are so cool. And you could find, for instance, maybe up to 10 glass fish bowls for $50 each at the Salvation Army, instead of dozens and dozens and dozens of dollars, or maybe $100 for a great container.
Well, think about the display that we saw at the San Francisco Garden Show, which utilized pallets, packing pallets
right.
that people used for shipping, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then they stacked them up on end and created sort of walls, and then within the configuration of the pallet, they painted them, and then they put earth inside, and then had little succulents coming out. It looks fantastic. That's a fantastic wall that you can use to screen off certain areas of your yard for nothing. You're basically, again, going to a big box store and asking if you can have their pallets.
And we also saw the use of gutters as a great inexpensive way to kind of pack in maybe some edibles along the side of your yard.
Sure.
But succulents are continuing to be such a trendy way to bring life to your garden and also to the inside of your home. Although you have to be careful. Certain succulents, many of them don't like to be inside the house. I think a lot of it has to do with air circulation.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
Yeah.
And then lack of light. I mean, they want to have some bright light. But anyway, I thought we'd talk about just a few of the most attractive ways to pair succulents together, because now that you've done some dumpster diving and you've brought some of the succulents back to life, how to kind of mix and match them. We love the idea of the framed succulent wall art, right? And there's a great website called csucculent.com. And there's others out there as well. But it's really kind of a cool way to rather inexpensively display all the different kinds of succulents that you love.
Oh, that
the grays,
nice.
the purples, the deep greens.
All right. Love that.
You love it? Yeah. I think that's also kind of fun to think about when you have not only a container, but maybe group several containers. Now, how's that container of succulents that you got the other day?
Glorious. I love it. That was a good deal, wasn't it?
And it's a cobalt blue container, right?
Cobalt blue container with succulents in it, and then we had some great stones that came with it, which felt like a steel.
Kind of like aqua recycled glass.
You kept trying to steal my stones.
I've already gotten
put them in
it.
your purse.
I took it the other day. It's gone. Done.
How dare you?
Anyway, but I think that succulents are an inexpensive way to add a lot of texture and art and fun and almost the feeling of being under the sea to your garden and your home, especially if you're just a beginner gardener. And so when you're going out to the big box stores, look at their succulents, but also, if you can, look and see if there are other specialty stores that have cacti and succulents, because I think you're going to find you'll see more unusual varieties.
That's right.
And then in addition to that, you'll be able to, because you can break off these succulents and make new babies. You're getting 2 or 3.
What do they call them? Pups?
They're called pups.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was a good one.
Thank you.
But you can get that, and what a great way to extend the life of your garden. So think of succulents.
All right.
Think of some of the dumpster diving and some great ways to.
Have you ever had to go through the garbage or dumpster dive?
I had to go through our own garbage because I threw away my contacts. I've accidentally thrown my own stuff away.
Same here.
Or asked my husband to do it.
Terrible.
I know.
Terrible job. No one should do this.
Anyway, thanks for sharing part of your time with us. Go to the website at yourhomewizards.com and be sure to email us. If you go there to yourhomewizards.com, we have all kinds of ideas, and our podcasts are there. And a lot of times we have fun goings-on and videos where we'd love to answer your email. We call it You Ask, We Answer at yourhomewizards.com.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we're going to look forward to seeing you again soon.
Yeah. So Home Wizards, the fun continues here. And don't you go away. We're just getting started.